then goes on to make a case for a strong but limited state. Now, this is important to understand. Kautilya is a realist. Okay, he has no sense of humor about many things. He's not an idealist at all. He believes that the role of the state, i.e. the king, is to provide security from internal and external threats, administer justice, provide infrastructure and municipal services, regulate and encourage commercial activity, and to collect taxes. The Kautilyan state does not allow for any laxity in this area. So he has no sense of humor about these areas. But on the other hand, he is not wildly keen on extending the role of the state beyond these things. So, for example, he is not a welfareist. The role of the state in helping the poor, etc., yes, it's needed, but it's needed during emergencies like a natural calamity. He thinks of the state essentially as a framework in which civilization functions. It's for the society to decide where it really wants to go. The state is there to provide the overall framework. So the question is, why is Kautilya limiting the role of the state in this particular way? Now, of course, other intellectual traditions also have this business about limiting the role of the state. So in the Western context of limiting the state, the usual reason that the Western tradition talks about tends to derive its idea about limiting the state in terms of the rights and freedoms of individuals, right? So the state needs to be limited because of the rights, innate rights and freedoms of individuals. But it's quite interesting that in Kautilya's approach, he has a very Indian reasoning for doing this. The problem of corruption and misuse of power. And so he repeatedly talks about his suspicion of the states. You all know about Kautilya's suspicion and use of spies, etc. What is interesting is that this is not directed at the citizens. Almost all of it is directed either at the enemies of the state, but a lot of it is towards government officials. And in fact, he states very clearly that it is no more possible to monitor the official corruption than it is to measure how much water a fish is drinking. So in fact, he states it explicitly in this way. Just as it is impossible to know when a fish is drinking water while it is swimming, so it is impossible to find out when government servants misappropriate money.